Welcome to the Hardcore Closer Podcast. I'm Ryan Stewman, founder of HardcoreCloser.com, and this podcast is all about helping you, the salesperson, close more sales. And look, whether you're selling cars, homes, financial services, consulting, whatever it is that you sell, this podcast is dedicated to help you generate higher quality leads, increase your closing ratios, and show you how to charge premium fees for the items you sell so you can get paid what you're worth. Welcome to episode 65 of the Hardcore Closer Podcast. And look, I'm glad you're here. If you're a first timer, you just know that there's at least 64 other episodes that you can get your hands on right now. Depending on when you're listening to this, in the future, there may be even more, right? But look, here's the thing. And I say this each and every week, and I will continue to say this each and every week because I'm on a mission. I need your help. It's real simple. I take the time every single week to come here and bring to you solid content. Today, I'm going to teach you some mind-altering, mind-changing, excuse-fucking awesomeness, right? But in order for me to do that, and the reason why I do that is so I can help people like you. And I don't want you to be stingy with this knowledge. What I want you to do is share it with other salespeople. I could go into this rant about limited time and robots coming, but we ain't got time for that shit on this episode. But here's the thing. Just have a little bit of faith in me. And if you've been here more than once and you love the show, leave a review on iTunes. Right? If you watch it on YouTube or SoundCloud or wherever it's at, just leave me a review, hit the like button, do something so that somebody else in your network will see that this show exists. Share it with a fellow salesperson. But I need you to leave me a review on iTunes if you're listening to this through podcast because it's important. Not because I want to be the number one podcast or anything like that. It's simply two things. A, I'm going to advertise you for doing it. B, this is how we're going to reach our goal of changing 300 million lives, right? That's my whole that's the reason why we have this show, the blog, the fan page, all these cool things that we got is because I'm on a mission to change 300 million lives. And one of the ways that I'm doing that is through these podcasts. And one of the ways that people discover us is when you guys leave reviews and I move further up the charts on there. So just make sure you're doing that. Here's an example right here of by Cat's. Oh, this motherfucker Robert got jokes. Cactusc. Fuck, I can't even spell it right. But it says sorry about that, whoever it is. It says holds nothing back, 5 stars. Stumbled across the Hardcore Closer podcast last week and have listened to the last 2 episodes so far. No BS, no fluff, obviously no spelling, no excuses, just in your face knowledge and ideas to sell more, earn more, and be more. Lover, Robert Edgen. Full service. Oh, okay, so there was this weird. I got it. So this guy, that was a great review. So this is from Robert Edgen, full service insurance and financial planning for people tired of losing money and reaching their goals. Colorado Springs, Colorado. See, that's one of the things for you new folks. That's one of the things we do too. If you read a review, we allow you to put your stuff on here. So that must be like his user handle. I don't know what in the hell that name was. But this is cool. So Robert Edgen, he's a full service insurance and financial planner. If you're tired of losing money, he says reach out to him. He's in Colorado Springs, Colorado. You probably catch him on Facebook. I appreciate that, Robert. And boy, Robert Wiseman, by the way, you fucked me with that name there. I'm still mind boggled over there. So, all right, let's jump into the episode. Today, we're going to talk about how to bankroll your business on a budget. For those of you that don't know how I got to here to be like the authority on this podcast, I'll explain to you real quick the journey that I went down. In 2003, life was good. I was making 6 figures a year. 2005, I was making multiple 6 figures a year, and the police came and kicked in my door and thought I was selling drugs. And I was like, drug dealers don't make this kind of money. Anyway, kicked in my door. Long story short, charged me. I didn't have any drugs. I wasn't selling drugs. I was flipping houses and doing mortgages. And anyway, they charged me with a felon in possession of a firearm. I beat the case. Then they turned it over to the ATF. I had to go back through the court system again. Nobody wins against the feds. They have a 97% conviction rate. They tried to give me 20 years. My lawyer at the time got elected as district attorney in Dallas County right in the middle of my case. They lowered my plea deal to 15 months. I took it, off I went. So when I came out of prison in 2008, I went in 2007, 15 months later in 2008, I came out, I had nothing. Nobody was there waiting for me up against like a Cadillac with snakeskin boots and a cowboy hat and a briefcase full of fucking cash ready to thanks for being loyal. Like that shit you see in the movies didn't happen for me. I got out And I didn't know what to do. I went on a couple of job interviews and I got declined for them. And finally, I got a bank to give me a job. And I started doing mortgages again, stacked up a little bit of money. 2010, Obama signed into law something called the Dodd-Frank Act. Well, the Dodd-Frank Act made it to where I wasn't able to write mortgages anymore because I was a felon. And I lost my ability to earn income once again. After a few short months, I'd spent all my money and I was unsure of what to do. And I was like totally like I was just losing my mind. I thought maybe multi-level marketing was the answer, or maybe I went down a lot of the same path that many of you listen to this have maybe been on before or on right now. You're not sure what the hell you want to do. You just knew you needed to do something. And so I started this business that you see today, Hardcore Closer, in 2012. And because of this business and because of the situations that I have been in, this business had zero money. I had no business partners, no JVs, no investors, no influx of cash. Like, I ain't have nothing. It was all me. I bankrolled this bitch from fucking zero, from subterranean zero. Okay. And I want to share with you today how you can do that too, because number one, fuck your excuses, right? If you have the fucking calling to be a business owner, then go be a business owner. You comfortable fuck. Right? Like, let's just be real. You sitting around, you're making fucking $100,000 a year, selling whatever it is you're selling, maybe $200,000 a year. But you got this calling in the back of your head to go start your own business and do more, but you're fucking scared. What the fuck are you scared of? What are you scared of? You can always go get a job like the one you got right now. You've proven that. But what if your idea takes off? So I could have went and got a job in the mortgages for, banks didn't require licenses. So I could have went and got a job doing mortgages for a bank. That's real fitting for me, right? I could have went and worked as an assistant for a real estate agent or an ISA for a real estate agent. But I had this calling. And I thought, you know what? Fuck it. I've already been to jail. And whatever's waiting on the other side of starting up a business can't be worse than prison. So fuck it. I'm just going to do it. And that's exactly what I did. I took the leap and I started this Hardcore Closer thing, and I came out of the box for $1,000. I would work with you for 1 hour a week for 6 weeks, 2 hours a week. Sorry, it was one-to-many coaching, 2 hours a week, 6 weeks. I had no program, no motherfucking idea what I was going to do, but I had some knowledge. I knew how to do some shit, and I had done some shit because I was doing a lot of mortgages and in some of the worst times ever. And so I knew some shit. I just wasn't sure what the fuck I was going to do with the shit that I knew, right? But at first I knew I needed to get some money. So the first thing I did was I did what my buddy Kevin Nations calls the lean in, okay? And the lean in is when you're like, hey, who out there is maybe looking for some help with their loan officer in, right? That was my offer back then was, hey, if you're a loan officer, you're not doing $2 million a month. If I was to put together a mastermind of people that are, would you be interested in joining and learning from them? We had a few people bite on it, made a few sales. I think I made $6,000 on that first program, which really ain't shit. Some people might be, damn, you made $6,000 online. We do that in an hour sometimes. To put it in perspective, we did about $170,000 yesterday in one day. So obviously we've come a long ways, but it was a place to get started. So what I'm going to do today, and I've bankrolled my business from there. I took some of that $6,000, invested it into Facebook ads, turned it into $20,000, invested it back into Facebook and Google ads, and turned it into $50,000, then turned it into millions that you see the results of today. But what I want to share with you are the 5 key steps and the 3 key steps. I always say 5 because we used to doing 5s on the show, but like the 3 key steps that you got to take. And really there's a bunch of sub steps as well, but I want like the 3 main things that you need to know and the subheads as well. So I'm going to break all this down to you. So how to bankroll your business on a budget. So the first thing you need to do is you need to crunch your numbers. And by crunch your numbers, I learned this from Justin Brook. He said, first of all, figure out how many books you want to sell. Right? Let's say that you're selling books, okay? Or let's say that you're selling these digital courses for 6 weeks. Okay, so how many courses do I want to sell? How much money do I want to make? So let's say I want to make $100,000 from selling the 6-week course. Okay, in order for me to do that at $1,000, we know that it takes me 100 people. Okay, so if I've got to make 100 people how many clicks is it going to take me to make one of these sales? Okay, that's the next goal. If each of these person represents $1,000, how many clicks is it going to take me to get to these sales? And what is an acceptable conversion rate? Okay, so I know that our average page converts at 10%. We're just going to use round numbers right here. So we're going to need 10% of the clicks will actually convert to be leads. And then we know that 1% of those people will actually be buyers. Okay, so let's do some realistic math. Now, if we want to make $100,000, we're going to need 10,000 clicks to be able to get one buyer. Okay, at $1,000 a piece. It's 10,000 clicks to be able to, 100. Yeah, so if it took, every 100, my bad. It's going to take 100 clicks to get one buyer. No, it's going to take 1,000 clicks to get one buyer. To get 10 people to opt in, okay, so that gives it, or 10%, which is going to give us 100 opt-ins, which is going to give us 1% of 100, which is one buyer. Okay, so for every 1,000 clicks, we get one buyer. That means that we've got to drive the traffic of 100,000 clicks. Okay, sorry about the math there, trying to make it easy. But now we know that it's going to cost us 100,000 clicks to get towards our goal. If our cost per click is 50 cents, then we know that that's $50,000 we're going to have to invest in this program. Let's say your cost per click is less, but I'm just saying that's $50,000 you're going to have to invest. And it's not all up front. It's in arrears as you're making money. Obviously, that's how advertising works. But that's $50,000 to make $100,000, which means you doubled the money that you invested in ads. But that's the math. So you got to know your numbers. And then once you create the landing page, you're trying to hit those numbers. If the landing page or the funnel converts at 7%, you got to adjust your numbers. Now all of a sudden, you don't need 100,000 clicks. Now all of a sudden, you need 127,000 clicks, right? You got to adjust your money accordingly. It might take you 65,000 to make 100,000. But you got to know your numbers. You can use this on a small scale, big scale, doesn't matter. But you need to know your numbers and work backwards from there. Number 2, you need leads. Okay, and look, so let's say you don't have $50,000 for your numbers. Okay, and let's say that you can find a way to get 100,000 clicks organically. You're some kind of black hat, mad hatter, traffic hacker, right? Let's say that that's you, and you can get these for free, but you still need leads, right? And the people that opt in, these are leads, right? And 1% of them becomes a buyer. But let's say you don't have $50,000 to invest over the course of the month. You're scared. You're brave or whatever. Fuck your excuses. You got issues, whatever. But you need leads regardless. So number one thing that you can do on a budget is organic social media advertising. This means, engaging people in groups, not spamming groups, not putting a link in groups, engaging people in groups, becoming an authority, becoming a leader, and organically marketing, making offers on your personal page, making offers on your business page, prospecting people with what we call the Lucky 7 method in Break Free Academy, where we got 3 specific moves we do every single day for 7 days. That is just like, it's for a month. It's just like bad to the bone. So organic is huge. You can get together your syndicate. You can have people that are in your circle and your networking and all that stuff, comment and engage and everything else as well with you, which is a huge attribute. Like teamwork gets the dream done. You know what I'm saying? They say makes the dream work, but I say it gets the dream done. Makes it a reality. Teamwork turns things into a reality. But here's the thing. With organic social media, like you and the squad can really roll up in a group. We had these guys do this to us the other day. One of them was like, "Oh my God, have you heard about this cryptocurrency shit?" And he had 2 or 3 of his other homeboys be like, "Yeah, I bought it, made a bunch of money." And another dude's like, "Yeah, I bought it, made a bunch of money too." And I was like, these slick motherfuckers. I want to kick them out, but they're slick as fuck. I feel like they may have bought my program. They're selling some scammy ass shit. I get it. And my programs are not for fucking scamsters. But I'm like, this is pretty fucking slick, right? They were working the syndicate. Those of you that are in Break Free Academy Entourage or the tribe or have been to Break Free Academy know exactly what I'm talking about. They were working the syndicate hard in there. But that's how they do organic social media. I saw smart people that I know starting to engage with them. Now, I don't know nothing about like Bitcoin or cryptocurrency. And I'm pretty sure them posting in groups and hyping the shit up is how they made a run on the currency in the first place, which again, me being an investor, I'm not buying their shit, but it's sketchy as fuck, but it's smart. Got to give it to them. It's sketchy as fuck, but it's smart. So low cost advertising. So now that we know our numbers, we put together the clicks up top. Here's what happens. Let's say you run an ad on Google or Facebook and you pledge to run $1,000 on this ad. It doesn't bill you $1,000 up front. What it does is it runs the ad for you. It charges you cost per click or cost per impression, however you decide to pay for it. And after you've exhausted and spent your money, the next step that goes down is after you've exhausted and spent your money, then they send you a bill. Usually, like with Facebook, there's a $750 threshold. With Google, I don't know. I think my threshold's like $1,500 or something over there. I can't seem to get them to raise the damn thing at Facebook. Sometimes they charge me 3 or 4 times a day. They've actually screwed a couple of my credit cards up doing that, but they won't let me raise the thing for some reason. I don't understand. Anyway, it's the one glitch that I've consistently had with them. But what happens is if you've got your funnel right and you've made sales, then you should be able to continue to pay for the advertising. You see what I'm saying? Like, you shouldn't just have to pay $50,000 in advertising up front. You should be able to let your ads run for 2 or 3 days. You get some leads in. You make 2 or 3 sales from the leads. They're $1,000 a sale. You put another $1,000 back into your ads. You pull that back out and you get 2 or 3 more leads. You take those 2 or 3 leads and you sell one. You put $1,000 back into your ads. You pull out 2 or 3 more leads and you sell one. You take $1,000 from that. And you keep bankrolling that shit until the next thing you know, you look back and you put like fucking $25,000, $35,000, $50,000 in advertising. And guess what you should have? If you're following your numbers, you should have your fucking $100,000, right? And you didn't have to start with anything. You started with a funnel that you knew was going to work, with an offer that you knew was converting, because you watched the shit. If it ain't converting, stop spending fucking money on it. It's simple. You're not a baller. We're bankrolling this bitch on a budget, remember? My CPA, Gene Stoner Albright here in Dallas, he says, if you don't count your paper clips, you'll start to overlook the big things and you'll miss more money than you'll ever be able to make up for them. And I get it, like bean counting shit's not for me, but he's right. Like, this guy knows how many paper clips you see. He's at my house the other day and he like hands me the shit in the envelope. I open the envelope and I'm like, all right, cool, man. And I pay the check to him. He's like, well, if you're not going to use those envelopes, I'll take them back. This dude lives like fucking next to Kenny Trout and Ross Perot and shit. Like, he's rich as fuck, right? Like, he's been doing this forever, but it's because he's like very like detailed on his finance, which is why I use him as my CPA, because he's very detailed. He doesn't miss anything. And but he says all the time, if you don't count the paper clips, you'll miss the big things. Great dude, man. So if you're looking for a CPA, if you run a multi-million-dollar business and you're looking for a badass CPA, Gene Stoner is the man. He will count your paper clips. So back to this. The next thing is online networking. You know, there's sites like WhatsApp, there's Slack. Slack channels are awesome. If you guys aren't using Slack channels, you should totally get involved in those. It's a free app, and it's just like common threads, like Reddit type stuff. But Slack is really cool. But online networking, being able to go back again inside the groups and prospecting people with the Lucky 7 method and things of that nature, that's huge for getting leads. Webinars, another way to get leads, right? Offer people the ability to webinar, offer people free books, free ebooks, free videos, those kind of things. You need leads. Lastly, the thing that you can do is speaking engagements. I know none of us are this way, but a lot of people are scared to speak on stage. And because of that, there's always a shortage of really people wanting to speak. And usually the speakers a lot of folks have run through them if they've been around for a while. So they're always looking for somebody new. So you can reach out. Don't go to the Toastmasters or anything like that. Just be you. And I think enough people decide whether they like you or not. And that's what sales is, right? Personal development course with a pay plan attached to it. But speaking engagements are huge too. It allows you to get in front of people and don't talk to them about the boring shit. Find out what the audience wants. Like, for example, if you're a loan officer, don't go in there talking mortgages and VA rates and processing and turn times. They don't give a fuck. Go in there and show them how they can get more listings. And I know you're like, but I'm a loan officer. I don't make any money from listings. Who fucking cares? Listings bring in buyers. Learn how to do what they want. Go in there and talk to them about that at the speaking engagement and leverage what they want against what you want. Number 3, final thing here, is build a team. Okay, if you're going to scale this business from zero to scratch, the first thing that you're going to have to do is, I already told you, you're going to know your numbers and you're going to need to get leads. Then what do you do with the leads? First thing that you need to hire, write this down. The very first person on your team that you need to hire is a salesperson. It's not an assistant. An assistant costs you money. Okay, just under an assistant, put that under the liabilities category. It's okay. It's a good liability. It's a good debt. There's such things as good debt. But sales is an income producing asset. Okay. The person that you hire to be a salesperson is an income producing asset to your company. Remember that. So the first thing that you need to do for your company is create income producing assets. And a salesperson is that. If you are not, if you're like, I'm not a good salesperson, I'm not a good sales trainer. Well, good news, I am. And you can send your people to breakfreeacademy.com/entourage. You can sign up for the entourage. We've got our catch training, the Lucky 7 method training, our syndicate training. You've got a mastermind full of a bunch of badasses that'll help you put together your funnels and Facebook ads and all the things that I'm talking about here today. Just go to breakfreeacademy.com/entourage. Dude, it is like $36,500 worth of value you can get your hands on for an entire year for just $2,500. Actually, it's like, the internet price, like $24.97 or some stupid shit, but it's $2,500 basically. And man, that'll train your team. It'll train your salesperson. Like, let me do that shit for you. Just put them through Break Free Academy. Just go over there, get signed up, Break Free Academy Entourage. Sign up for a year. Don't be a bitch and commit month to month, man. Go all in with me and I'll go all in with you. All right, come on. Sales is the first person you need to hire so that when you get these leads, you can pass them over to the salesperson. Okay, and the salesperson's job, if they're following cash, they should be able to close 2 out of every 5 sales. Worst case scenario, 2 out of every 10. All right, and so, or 1 out of every 5, obviously. But the thing is, and still that's a 20% conversion rate. So that's a good thing. And if you've done your leads correctly, it makes catch when the sales guy's hitting them even better. So after you've got your sales guy making enough money for you, that's when you hire an assistant. Your sales, you should be driving leads. The sales guy should be closing sales. Let me train him if you need to. And the assistant is after the salesperson. After the salesperson's bringing enough money in for you and him and another person, that's when you bring on an assistant. And what the assistant does is everything that you don't want to do. The things that you like, the things that make you happy, the things that you're good at, that's what you should be doing. If you don't want to do it and it sucks and it makes you mad and it throws you off your game, put that on your assistant. The next person you need to hire after that is support. Because if you've got a salesperson loading your client base up, you've got an assistant, maybe doing intake and all that shit for you and the things that you don't like. Then you've got support helping your clients, making sure they're happy and supporting them, because that's important. If you're going to keep people as clients, you've got to have good support. And then you're going to go back and hire another salesperson. And then you're going to put another salesperson. And then you're going to put another support person. And you're going to follow until at that point where you get 4 or 5 salespeople. Then you're going to create a position for general manager. This general manager runs the support team, runs the assistants, and runs the sales team. You report to the general manager, runs the day-to-day. The general manager reports to you at a high level. As soon as you've got that cycle down, the general manager's handling things that's profitable, you hire a CFO, someone to take care of the money, someone to make sure that you're compliant, someone to make sure your taxes are correct and everything else. You hire a full-time CFO to sit on your cabinet and be an advisor. And once that person, who will cost you 6 to 7 figures a year, but they will save you and make you a lot of money if you get the right one, that's when you can hire the CEO and ultimately replace yourself. That's how you scale. You get in a position where you only do what you want to do and you hire everything else. My buddy Dustin Black, he just hired a CEO for his company. He's only going to do what he wants to do. There's some aspects of that company that he loves, and there's some other things that he needs time for, and he replaced himself. And that's what the dream is, right? To build a business where you replace yourself. Everybody's like, well, Steve Jobs, he didn't work for Apple for like 14 years or whatever it was. He was probably fucking vacationing. He had a bunch of money. It's not like he was broke. He replaced himself. He's like, well, fuck it. I'm just going to hang out over here and fucking crash Lamborghinis all day or whatever the fuck the Illuminati does for a living, right? I mean, he had like nothing to do. Just chill. If he didn't, I don't know. I don't know the man, and I ain't seen the video or read the book, but I'm saying all that time that he had off, obviously he replaced himself. He had other shit to do. So here's the thing. We'll give you a quick recap on this. First thing you need to do if you're going to bankroll your business on a budget, you're going to need to know your numbers. You're going to need leads. That's going to be organic social media, low-cost bankroll and advertising, online networking, speaking engagements. Number 3, you're going to need to build your team. It starts with a salesperson, then an assistant, then another salesperson, then a support person, then another salesperson, then another salesperson, then a support person, a general manager, a CFO, and a CEO, so you can ultimately replace yourself. We got a few books left over at elevatortothetop.com. get over there and grab a free paperback copy of my best-selling sales book. You're going to love that thing, man. We got thousands of people that have got pictures with it and talking about the books changed their life and helped them make more money and things like that. So get over there and grab it. Also, seriously, if you want to bankroll your business from scratch, join the Entourage, breakfreeacademy.com/entourage. And don't forget, it is the end of the month. Maybe it's just the beginning of the month if you're catching this a few days later. But here's the deal. You and I both know that I can give your people a good night's sleep with the security and the safety and the peace of mind at yourfreealarm.com. So give your folks a free alarm system. If you're in real estate, mortgages, insurance, like let's help keep your people safe. My partner, Chad Hensley's ex-federal agent, man, he's all about national security. Now we're doing home security. So just go to yourfreealarm.com and we'll get signed up. We'll also kick you back $100 for every person that you refer to us because we appreciate you being loyal and listening to the show. Last of all, make sure you leave me a damn review and then share this with somebody who's trying to build a business from scratch right now. Thank you.